terms. Let's welcome Professor Liu to host the panel.
Okay, thank you so much for your kind invitation. I'm very excited today to join this very important conference. As well, this is the first time I came here, and it's so beautiful, such a great place. So, yeah, we have already listened to two very interesting talk. So now we are going to start our 45 minutes panel discussion. I think this is the most important panel I ever chaired. So the panelists are so distinguished. So first of all, let's invite Professor Shin Tong Yao. Well, yeah, please have your seat. So, well, I don't know whether we should introduce details, but let me read. Fields medalist, member of the United States National Academy of Sciences, and also the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. Foreign member of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, and chair professor at Tsinghua University. So basically, my colleague, but it's much higher level than us. So welcome. Also, I'm going to invite Professor Leslie Valiant, the ACM Turing Award laureate, also the member of the United States National Academy of Sciences, and also the fellow of the Royal Society, professor at Harvard University. Thank you. Now I invite Dr. Wei Liu. He just delivered a very wonderful keynote speech 20 minutes ago. Dr. Liu. Dr. Liu is the Distinguished Scientist of Tencent and also IEEE and IAPR Fellow. So welcome. And Professor Dr. He Xiaodong. He just also delivered the keynote speech 5 minutes ago. So, distinguished scientist at Tencent and the fellow of IEEE and IAPR. We also have distinguished speaker from far away, Professor Mao Tiyong. Please come to join us. He is the distinguished research scientist at Google, and also member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, fellow of ACM, and fellow of IEEE, ICAR, and EATCS, ETAX. And also he is an adjunct professor at Columbia University. So thank you, welcome. And last but not the least, Dr. Tianyan Liu. This is my academy brother in my department. He is distinguished scientist at Microsoft Research, AI for Science, and also the fellow of IEEE, as well as fellow of ACM and fellow of AAIA. So thank you so much. Well, today's talk, I just realized the topic today is the evening of computer science. So I talked with Dr. Liu, and we exchanged ideas, and we realized that we have lots of different evenings, like evening of physics and the evening of computer science. So today is somehow focused on computer science. So, if you talk about anything about computer science, the most important hot topic is artificial intelligence. So although artificial intelligence, AI, include so many different disciplines, but computer science is clearly and obviously the most important field. It is highly related. So let me start from our discussion from a very general topic, I'm going to give each of the panelists a chance to talk about this. So generally, AI has so much different impacts to the society. So some people like it so much, and some people do not like it and even hate it. So in your mind, I'm going to give the question. So in your mind, what is the most negative impact, and what is the most positive impact, or what is the most positive impact to the daily life or research or whatever in our fields or around you want to mention? Just one most important positive and negative impact you think. So let's start from somewhere. Maybe we start from some people do not speak anything yet. You give the opening speech and you deliver the keynote speech. So let's start from maybe in Chinese culture. We start from the farthest guest. So Mauti, maybe you start first.
Okay. It's easy for me to talk about the negative because a lot of
my you can only speak on negative, or
no,
you
no,
only
not
can
only,
speak
not
on,
only,
on positive.
not only, but I'll start with the negative because I think AI is great in doing many things without, not always with our understanding of it, but yet experimentally it performs quite well in many domains, and the talks showed it here in the domain of video and picture generation and multimodal. And however, every technology that we put forth in computer science have been abused by the bad guy. And as a cryptographer and a security researcher, these things never let me sleep well at night, because I'm just waiting for it to be abused. So deep fake, the minute you improve your generation of believable objects, then the bad guys are going to generate something that you are going to believe, but it's going to be fake, and there will be implications. And at the beginning, they're going to do it for fun, and then they're going to get the economic incentive, which is the underlying thing behind the IT industry and the IT dark industry of the bad guys. And then we're going to say the C impact. So AI is great until attacks come. Even today, and I worked on it in the sense of contaminating the inputs and seeing the effect, but it can be abused in many other ways, and it's almost easy to predict, because the bigger the power of AI to do good things, the bigger the power of abusing it. The good thing of AI is that productivity is going to, in areas unimaginable so far, things that people believe that it's due to human creativity are going to be formalized with as an AI problem, and AI is going to experimentally solve most of it. And experimentally, I mean the things that I'm not satisfied with, that there is no explanation, there is no formal calculus that I can say it's doing it right, but it's going to do it statistically most of the time.
Okay, thank you so much. I think what do you think is kind of people worry the AI is somehow we don't understand and they might be out of our control, or it's going to go somewhere. It's not what we imagined or not we planned for it, right? Okay, well, let's listen to other people's thoughts. Thank you so much. Tia, maybe you talk. You agree or not agree?
let me share some of my personal
Okay.
opinion, yeah.
Go ahead.
So first of all, talking about the positive impact of AI, I think these days AI are actually making transformational changes in many real industry. I think that is one thing I can see very important. AI is not a toy. It's not just something we do research for, but really something transforming our life and our industry. I think today Wei and Xiaodong introduced a lot of good examples how AIGC have been widely used in their companies. And from Microsoft, I'm working on AI for science, and speaking from my position, I also see a lot of opportunities of using AI to disrupt for example, pharmaceutical company industry, the chemistry industry, material industry. Those are really fundamental. So that's a very positive aspect of AI today. And talking about the negative part, I don't really want to repeat, AI can do evil, something like that. But I see something maybe not very good for the research community, for people in this room, because today, the major research paradigm for AI is something like scaling is all you need. And seems that the intelligence of smart mind is no longer needed. And there's a kind of a beta license. So if you put out of data and compute there, then the intelligence will emerge. But traditionally, our researchers, all the great scientists in this room, we actually have done a lot of great explorations to see whether there is something very special behind the intelligence. But it seems today that are not very encouraged in many ways, because if you do not have many machines, GPUs, you cannot really make the world pay attention to your work. And furthermore, I think today's AI is not very sustainable. It's environmental sustainable. So, for example, using 100K GPUs to just train a big model, and human just use one egg, we can do the same thing. So, is this really a good computational paradigm? Is really something that worth that kind of investment? Let's suppose one day you really have a great AI, AGI from the computer, but it will cost, the training of that will cost 1/3 of a company like Microsoft. Does that really make sense? Yeah. So those things are really something in my mind.
Okay. So after I listen to your points, I feel that all you said are actually very positive. So the points are which are not positive, I think it is only some challenges and to push us to go forward. Well, okay. This is one kind of a very good aspect. So Leslie.
Okay, so so I think the subject is difficult because I think AI is something which will get into all aspects of our lives. So it's like a comprehensive all our problems. And so basically, I think AI magnifies the power and magnifies our power in many different dimensions, and magnifies our opportunities and also the dangers. But I think many of the issues AI will get into are very familiar ones, so that they're not new problems. So, for example, just to raise another issue, is people discuss fairness. So, will AI make fair decisions about people? But of course, this is an old problem that unfair decisions have been made about people for a long time. So, I think AI almost raises our game. It makes us think about the problem more carefully, about what is fair and what isn't. So I think so I feel very positive about AI. So clearly the dangers are there because our powers are increased, but also it drives us to examine more carefully what we do.
Okay, so I hear one word, dangers. So let me ask you a further question. Last week I actually interviewed Manuel and Lenore Blum. And I asked him one question, because 2 years ago he has a paper, consciousness theoretical Turing machine. So let me ask you this very simple question. Do you believe AI is going to have consciousness or something like that? Consciousness.
Current AI?
I mean, in the future, whatever, 20 years, 50 years, or even 100 years, whether AI is going to have its own consciousness? Well, I'm going to tell you his answer after you answer this question.
Yeah. So I am familiar with their approach. As far as my outlook, I don't think consciousness is a well-defined notion. I don't think people agree on what consciousness is. So in some senses in which they talk about it, they define it as not being an issue. But I think I haven't found consciousness to be a useful concept in discussing AI.
Okay, I tell you his answer. He said, yes, there will be, and this is a must. And I asked him how long. He said maybe 50 years or within 50 years, or the longest will be 500 years. So my further question is, how long we do? He said there is a discussion about how long we will destroy ourselves by AI. Well, so what is your idea on that?
Whether we will destroy ourselves by AI?
If they have consciousness, so obviously.
No, I disagree. I mean, we can destroy ourselves in many different ways other than AI. And whenever we have dangerous new technologies, we have to develop methods of somehow staying in control and not indulging in risky behavior. So I think with AI, the main issue is who's in control? Are we in control, or are the machines in control? So this idea that machines will necessarily seize control from us, I don't see that argument. I don't think that has to happen.
Yes, I agree with you. So every time there is very new technology emerges, people will worry whether we are going to be destroyed by this new technology, even electricity and the all this kind of new technology. Let's talk about it later offline. Professor Yao?
Well, first of all, I'm not really a computer scientist.
Well, that's fine.
Although I did make some contributions sometimes. Well, I'm an optimistic person. I always like to see anything that are useful should be encouraged. It's clear that AI has done something good and should be encouraged, especially when I see that AI can do computation in very high dimension than what we can do. And that's something one need to understand why it works in that way. There are many other things that I think they are useful. But I think, on the other hand, we are too optimistic about what AI can do in general. Let's say we are very interested to see whether AI can do much for science or for mathematics. I think that will be exciting to see many things. But on the other hand, let's just be objective. From my point of view, objective. So is subjective too. We saw two of our great lifetime awards in mathematics, Andrew Weiss and also Hamilton. They did their great work about 30 to 40 years ago. One on Fermat's theorem, which is actually Taniyama wave similar conjecture. One is Hamilton's work on rigid flow. These are two spectacular work in the history of mathematics. This was done in 1980s, leading to early year 2000, but I think majorly largely accomplished at that time. Well, I think they may get a little bit help from computer, but practically none. This kind of work is spectacular, and I look at what we have done in the last 10 years. I don't think we have anything that can measure up to this great achievement, at least up to now that I know. So what it means is that computer can help, but it need not help us to accomplish what was done in the history of mathematics or history of science. And this something means that it doesn't mean that AI could not help, but on the other hand, we still need to exploit a lot more power from AI to get this achievement. the intelligence that was accumulated by human are still much more powerful, despite of many exaggeration by Tao and many other things. I actually asked Manford, who is very much a fan for computer and all that. He was a great algebraic geometer, one of the very major one. And then he changed to computer graphics, as you know, and did very good work. So I asked him whether science, or in particular mathematics, has improved over the years since computer was invented. He agreed that it didn't make that much difference. Actually, it's not clear they have actually helped in a very essential manner. So what I'm trying to say is that we are very happy to see AI and all this computer helping in many ways. They have many more power to do computation to the very detailed extent. We see examples, curves of the shields of Riemann zeta function, beautifully distributed and all that. They are very good. They probably contribute something to our intelligent activity, but not as essential as what we had so far. So this is my observation, which may be wrong, but I think we still long way to go. But I look at what people has been doing. I think, on the contrary, mathematics can contribute a lot to what people are doing, AI and all that. For one thing, I personally feel that the huge amount of computation and huge number of parameters was involved is partially because the whole subject is too linear, or using matrix calculation. But the whole subject is actually intrinsically nonlinear, which people in computer science has not explored, the nonlinear theory, which I advise people to go ahead to learn more nonlinear theory, which presumably will cut down the number of parameters. That's from technical point of view, that's my view. Now, besides that, it sounds very discouraging, but actually I'm very excited about trying to do AI myself and trying to learn. But there's another observation I'd like to make. Now that AI is more popular, AI GTP and all this, ChatGTP, all the students are now trying to use ChatGTP to do homework, to do exercise, and to write letters. Soon we will find that most of the students are no more that active in their thinking. And soon we will see many people are not thinking anymore. And then we will see that people are getting more brain disease because you don't stimulate your thinking. And this actually will create negative problem in the society. People are retiring early here in China, 55 or 60. And if many of them, high percentage are getting brain disease, there will be a terrible burden on the society. That is one thing I think, something that I think the government has not thought too much into yet, whether it will create more brain disease by not thinking in a global way. And I think there should be AI to be useful. One should help to stimulate thinkings of human beings or the people in the society. I think this is very important. Besides the fact AI probably would be certainly used in fighting a battle and could destroy a lot of people. But anyway, these are something I worry about. Thank you.
Okay, so Professor, you all think the AI and computer technologies do not contribute too much on how we understand this world and how the science going forward. Well, let me ask.
What I'm saying is in the future there should be much more.
Yes, but not yet.
Right now.
Oh, yes. Yeah, not yet. Well, my question is, okay, so I hear some saying about the AI has 3 different levels of the functions in the future. Number 1, become the computational scientific microscope to let people see something which are not seen before. For example, in the chess, playing chess, the goals, and some of the techniques we never used in the past. And now we know they are very good technique in Go because AI use that and beat people. So second level is to become the source of inspiration when you discover something or talk about something or think about something. Okay, third level is the most important. They are going to become, AI is going to become the agent of our understanding. Somehow they help us to understand something. Okay, let me ask you another question. For a long time, I want to ask some people like you. Do you think, or you tell us, is mathematics a discovery or our invention? I mean, human beings' invention.
Well, in a way, it's both. I mean, mathematics study objects which are far more extensive than what physics had. Physics thought about matters are only nature, but to us, abstract objects are also nature. Sphere, we look at it as a nature, but physicists thought that it was an abstract nonsense. It's just something to help to understand nature. So, we create interesting abstract objects. Then we study it because they set up some rules, and those rules are important for us. And so the objects that we study are far beyond what people consider to be nature. Then the rules that appear in the society is an interesting mathematical object. So we create some rules, and of course you can say the rules exist in any case. But on the other hand, I think there's a lot of creation involved into there. So yes, also a discovery at the same time, a creation.
I ask this question because if somehow most of them are kind of invention, so we do not really get the scientific understanding. We actually get some scientific explanation on the issues or phenomena we observe, right? So we try to use that way to explain the phenomenon. So someday they might be changed, or somehow the next observation might be different with what we have already observed, right? But that is, I'm thinking about whether AI can be, for example, can be the agent of real understanding about that, or they give another way to explain those of the things.
Well, let me explain to you. I mean, from my point of view, for example, I mentioned Andrew Weiss and Richard Hamilton just a few minutes ago. Well, Richard Hamilton created the concept of rigid flow, and that was not there before. And he created to understand many important concepts, which eventually lead to the proof of the Poincare conjecture. I consider that as a creation. It was not there before. But of course, internal logic, the logic is everywhere. A implies B, B implies C, therefore A implies C. That, of course, is always has to be obeyed. You may say that that's not a creation. But to me, the interesting concept are difficult for AI or for computer to find. Let me take an example. For a long, long time, Chinese mathematicians did not accept the concept of imaginary number. I think Chinese mathematicians accept imaginary number only in the 19th century. Before that, they did not like this concept because it looks bad. X squared plus 1 equals 0 should not have a solution. But, during 15th century, people in the Western world started to accept it, and it developed it for almost 300 years. The mathematicians who developed it did not believe this number also, but they developed it nevertheless and becomes an important tool. And now, imaginary number is basically part of nature to us. I think no mathematician will consider imaginary number to be strange nowadays, but 300 years ago, including Euler, thought that imaginary number is a funny thing. They are not sure, although he invented Euler formula, exponential I pi equal to -1. So this kind of concept, I don't think AI could produce. It's a brand new concept that doesn't exist in the nature or in any document before. Or some concept like quantum mechanics. Human beings still do not understand quantum mechanics thoroughly. So how would a machine understand it? So that's the kind of thing I think there's a limit to what AI can develop. Brand new concept that we never thought about before. Actually, the simplest one is asymmetric approach for plane geometry. We all learn Euclidean axioms. There are 5 axioms to explain many theorems. And each time when I go to AI, I challenge my AI friends to try to create axioms. So I give you, say, 300 theorems in plane geometry. Would the machine be able to produce 5 axioms for me to explain all this geometry? I think that would be tough. Or that is important. It's not just for abstract nonsense, because Newton, after all, when he wrote the famous book on mechanics, it was based on Euclidean thinking. He reduced every mechanical thinking to 3 motion, 3 Newtonian axioms, right? So I think that's a fantastic major conceptual breakthrough, which I don't believe AI would be able to create. Well, so in a way, it's a creation. That's why I said.
Thank you, thank you so much, Professor Yao. Maybe we invite Xiaodong.
Yes, actually, I hear many of my colleagues talk about AI and have shared a lot of interesting ideas. I would say I kind of agree with Professor Yao about that. Today's AI still lack of principle, I would say. I think we are kind of like in the pre-Newton stage, as Yao said. We are still probably, hopefully in the near future or in the future, we'll have a set of principles to define the basics of AI. We are not there yet. So frankly speaking, I mean, many of us are doing AI is more from the empirical way, even including the neural network. It's powerful. It's really powerful, and it's really huge scale, and it kind of do a lot of things. But still, I think we don't really understand the principle underneath it. So we are still doing some experimentation. We are doing a lot of observation. We hopefully one day, when we accumulate a lot of these experimental results, we can hopefully invent or found or discover the true theory behind that. But that said, it doesn't prevent AI to be useful nowadays, even for today's AI. I will show some of my story. In JD, actually, I'm also in charge of the intelligent customer service department. So kind of my job is to use AI to help the customer service representative to answer the questions our customer raised. When, for example, if you buy anything from JD, you have a chance to, for example, ask for a low price or return it or change the delivery to another address. There are tons of these questions, tons of these requests. If we ask a human to do that, I mean, that's what we do before. It takes a lot of effort, human effort to do that. AI, especially the chatbot, for example, chatbot can do a lot of this work for our customer and also kind of save the labor of our real people, customer representatives. So that's actually, I can see the true value. It happens, it saves a lot of effort, especially in this Liu Ba, I don't know how to present. It's like festival, the shopping festival days. There's huge traffic coming in. And if you don't want to wait along on the line, if you don't want to really talk to a real human customer representative, our AI actually can answer you, provide the answer, even the solution to you in a much more efficient way. So efficiency is the most important thing and make AI is useful, even if it is not complete or even not fully mature yet. So I think from my point of view, AI is positive and create a lot of value. Of course, maybe people can challenge me, said, maybe AI costs a lot of the human customer representative lost their job. Some people actually challenge me on that. And I actually talked to many real customer service representatives. And I would say none of them actually take customer service as a life career. So I feel less guilty. Yeah, because I still think AI actually, this is a really labor-intensive work, and I don't think people will work this for lifelong. And eventually, I hope machine will take all this job for us. I mean, work for us rather than as a land human to serve me. Yeah. So in general, I think I'm positive, and even I'm still positive even for the principles of AI. I believe there must be something underneath, really can help machine, even help us to really do something smart and useful, right? Although today we don't discover, but I believe there must be someone, and we can find out. And that's one thing. In the last sentence, I will say that's one thing really interesting for AI, because this is very few of this example that we have more than 7 billion of real examples exist in the world, how intelligent machine looks like, but we still don't know how it works. Every single person is an example how intelligent machine looks like, but we just don't know how it works.
Okay, Xiaodong is quite positive on AI. Wait, yeah, go ahead.
And I want to talk about the relationship between human beings and AI. Yeah. So firstly, I think AI is a human being's invention. Yeah. For the most popular AI, generative AI or foundation model, okay, I don't think it's a new invention. Okay, what does foundation model or generative AI do? Yeah, it doesn't did anything new. It just reorganize and reproduce. Okay, reorganize the knowledge, humans' knowledge, humans' observation, humans' signal, and humans' informations to remember, to save in the model parameters. Okay, and then foundation model reproduce something, text, image, audio, video, according to user prompt. So that is all. So any generative model, any generative foundation model, that doesn't do anything new. Okay, it is just, I think it's much more better and much more skilled than previous model to help people remember, write, draw, compose music, produce videos better. This is all. Yeah, it actually relieve humans' labors in these works. So this is good. I think this is good side. It is a positive impact on humans. This is the creative power. But we have a lot of negative impact on humans or on society. In my experience, I just seen much more fake information, fake digital content over the internet. Say, and I think it's so seldom the website or some company do some fake content discovery and the fake content detection. Yeah, and the second negative point is I think human. I think the human feel at some kind of this model because foundation model companies are doing something. I think something bad. They collecting, analyze, and use user prompt data to train their own models. So their model is get better and better, and the user data is discussed or is misused. So I think users' privacy and security are not good and somehow violated. So this is what kind of sort of. But I think we have some. There are some organizations doing some new regulation to control the development of generative AI, control the misuse of generative AI. Yeah.
Well, okay, thank you. So we have several minutes left. So I'm going to open the floor to the audience. So is there any question? Anyone want to ask any of our panelists? Anyone? Oh, go ahead. So can we deliver him a microphone? Yeah, please introduce yourself, who you are, and then ask who you want to ask and what is your question.
May I ask anyone of you? I'm
any of them, or who is the one you want to ask? Well, let us listen to your question first.
Maybe I want to ask Professor Xinteng. So all of you have made such a great progress in your each area. So I want to ask how to be creativity and how to keep this creativity. Thanks.
Well, it's also for our today's topic. Okay, how to be creative? How can be someone like you? Maybe this question are the best is Professor Yao. His question is quite creative.
Well, not crazy, but human beings learn to be creative based on many factors. And an important thing is that human beings learn creativity by making mistakes. It's something that machine did not know how to do yet. We make maybe 100 mistakes before we make one more step up. And this happens all the time. I think every mathematician knows you want to prove a deep freedom, you probably make at least 10 mistakes, mostly 100 mistakes before you move up. And you learn how to understand the structure of the theorem or, deep structure by making mistakes. You do not do it purposely, but you automatically will make mistakes. And then you may not know the mistakes for a long time, and then you keep on digging up the structure behind it. You learn by association, by going to different subjects, going to physics, go to, you learn geometry, you may go to differential equations, you may go to many different subjects. And these are the way that we learn to be creative. And of course, you need to know your own subject very well. So it's a very complex creature to be creative. But I tell you what my way of thinking is, but there are other people who think quite differently. But on the other hand, I do not believe there is such a thing called 天才 or such a thing doesn't exist.
Well, can we human beings invent something we never see?
Well, what do we never see? Of course, we observe things. In the big machine, the big collider, we will somehow find something we never see.
If we never see it, we never know. We don't know it.
That's why we need to do experiment.
For example, if we do not know people can move, a human being can move, then we cannot invent the train, the car, right?
No. We invent a telescope and you observe, you found, many things. You invent a microscope, you see many things. The basic thing is that nature is far, far bigger than what we know. And nature is almost infinite. And if you accept the fact nature is basically infinite, then you never conquer nature, but except learning from it.
Well, yes. Nature has a lot of things, but we practice in the nature, and if we see something in the nature, then we invent something corresponding to the nature things, right?
I think it's the arrogancy of the computer scientists to think that you can beat nature, and I don't believe that.
Thank you. What do you think?
Well, I don't think computer scientists are trying to beat nature, but as far as thinking up new things, I think obviously we have to explore very broadly, and most of the time we make mistakes. But also, I think new ideas come in extremely small steps. So individuals make an extremely small step, and then maybe someone else makes another extremely small step. But if the small step is in a new direction, then people recognize this is something really new. So I think creativity isn't well. Okay, so also for human creativity, I think you also need to have the right environment. You have to allow people to be creative, to give them latitude to explore broadly and don't examine every second how well they're doing. But I mean, broadly speaking, I don't think we can rule out. Okay. So I think one difficulty of discussing AI is because, unfortunately, say up to a few years ago, AI meant some general ambition people had to make machines more capable. But in the last few years, AI has seemed to mean exactly what's achieved now by existing systems. So I think when people talk about AI now, they have restricted their view on what machines are doing currently. I think we should go back and have broader ambitions. And if we do, I mean, I don't think there's anything which we can define as human capability, which one can rule out machines also being able to do.
Is generative AI creative or not?
Well, I don't think this question makes sense. Sorry.
I'm kidding.
I mean, no, I mean, generally not. No, generally not. It can be if it's lucky, but in general, not.
Go ahead, Moti. Go ahead.
I think a lot of the attributes that we put on AI or on technology in general is very. It's good for journalists. It's not good for scientists. Whether it's creative, whether it is conscious, whether it's this, whether it's that, these are not really something that essential to the issue itself. And also, computing and AI are creatures that were derived from mathematics. And if AI finds a mathematical theorem or helps in doing mathematical theorems, is using mathematics to create a tool that helps us with mathematics. It's all in the system. It's like if I write it, if I think about something and I'm using some mathematical knowledge, then it helps me to get mathematical result. And AI is a way to organize the knowledge and apply it and process with it in a certain way. And one word on creativity, there is perspiration and inspiration. There's a lot of perspiration and very little inspiration. You have to play and play and play, and you have to love what you do, and then exactly you will find the right thing. Otherwise, you're going to give up, and you're not going to have any creativity. It's hard work.
I have one more.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, just based on logic and the machine, you can create infinite number of theorems. Most of them are junk, as we know. There's a creativity, including question how to judge whether the theorem they prove are interesting or not. That is a judgment beyond mathematics or beyond just logic. And it has a great deal to do with nature. That's why I said nature is infinite. Based on what we understand nature, it will bring in the depth of the theorem that we can prove, and these are part of creativity. Because machines can create infinite number of theorems, but that's based on logic, A implies B, B implies C. You can keep on generating infinite number of statements, but most of them are nonsense, no interest. They are true facts, but they are useless. So at the end, we have to judge according to beauty as we see it from our inspiration from nature, because anything that are close to nature are good for us. That's our experience. Okay, it's nothing to do with creation. It's just the fact that we see it, and also we live in this. Well, the nature we see would be more adaptive to the theorem that I prove. That's basically what it is.
Thank you. Anyone want to say something? Okay, go ahead.
Let me provide two very quick perspectives to this. Maybe a student, how to be more creative, maybe in your daily research or daily work. I just want to say two things. One thing is being open-minded, being willing to learn, and embracing inclusion and diversity will help you be more creative. because you learn new things, learn other disciplines, especially those cross-disciplinary things. You will eventually understand the world is so different. People's perspectives are so different. Then you will also be willing to provide different solutions to a problem. And second thing is just remember that you need to aim really high. If your aim is very high, then you will not be satisfied by some incremental solutions, and you will not be satisfied by what you already know, or other people have already invented. You will try your best to do something very unique, because what you have today cannot match what you want to do in the future. So that's big gap will motivate you to be more creative. So this is these two perspectives are really something I practice from day to day. When we do AI for science, when we really do all the research in Microsoft Research, these two things, learning, being open-minded, have a growth mindset, and talk to people with different backgrounds, and also trying to do some mission-driven thing, moonshot level, big project will really give people strong motivation to create something different.
Thank you, Tie. Okay, I think we have a lot of things to discuss, but it's really close to the time limit. So, very quick one? Okay, well, very quick one.
Okay, I just we seem to have a competition between machines and humans about who's more creative. I have a question for the computer scientists. Can AI generate trust? Like scientists, mathematicians prove theorems. Scientists make new results, and those are things that we trust as a civilization, and that's maybe why scientists have gained their status. And I'm very interested in what is the progress on creating trust and generative trust. Like, can AI generate trust? Anyone, please.
Well, I think trust has to be earned. So, so some computer systems are trusted, and calculators are trusted, and some systems are not trusted because their behavior isn't because they're not trustworthy. So, I think computer scientists have to make sure that whatever they do earns is worthy of trust. It's not automatic.
Okay, just go ahead.
And yes, sometimes people trust something because of this is the common belief. This is what they learn from their professors. This is what they think it is. But it's not always correct. You sometimes have to unlearn, revise, and then that's a good way to get inspiration sometimes. So I'm not sure that you can mechanize all notions of trust, because we don't know what they are. Trust is
we have to define
in many ways.
Okay, I believe we have a lot of things to discuss, but indeed the chair tells me that we are very quick. Okay, give to him 2 minutes. 1 minute ask, 1 minute answer.
I'd like to ask distinguished Professor Valiant and Professor Yang, would you please give us the top 5 questions, your personal concern on AI? The top 5 questions. Okay.
Too many.
Just keywords is okay. Just keywords.
Top 5, too many.
Top 3. Top 3.
Top 3 questions in AI. Leslie and Professor Yao. Quickly.
You said concerns.
Concerns or questions?
Your concern. Yeah.
Concerns.
Well, I don't want to trivialize your question, but I think whatever the top 3 concerns of humanity are probably also the same concerns for AI, because everything we do, AI will get involved in.
I've said whatever I said. I don't want to answer.
Okay. So indeed, we have no time. I was invited by Professor Hu Shimin to this event. Thank you so much for the invitation. You have something to say? Well, come up. Yeah, say something. Yeah. Okay. Well, and also thank you for your kind organization, the invitation, and also the presentation today. So, Ace, thank you so much. Let's thank all the panelists. Thank you so much. So slowly, yeah. Take care. Take care. Take care. Thank you so much. Slowly, slowly, yeah. I'm going to deliver this one back to Song Hai.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Liu. And to